The big game is fast approaching, but wait, you still haven't got your tickets. You've spent hours searching, but you're still confused about ticket prices. Time to stop searching. Visit ticketcompare.com. We compare ticket prices for all the popular leagues and tournaments for you. We work only with the most trustworthy sites, so you can have peace of mind when buying your tickets. Compare prices, buy tickets, get to the game. Ticketcompare.com. Buying tickets made simple.
Okay, this press conference in Spain, sorry, in England, it's fine.
Rafa, can we start please with the big news this morning that Arsene Wenger has decided to step down at the end of the season. What do you make of this news?
Obviously, I have been talking well about Arsene Wenger for a while, the other day in the press conference, so I think that when he came here to England to do things in the way that he was doing things and to win like he was winning was a massive achievement, and then has been so many years, and I said in the press conference before the game, so someone that his behavior has been always quite good. All the managers will have some problems sometimes, but quite good, an example for everyone, but especially for a foreign manager like me. When I came and we started, I would say, fighting with some of the big names in England, he was fighting before, he was winning before, and it was really difficult to do that, and he did really well.
Over 22 years in charge at one club, do you think this is the last we'll see of that sort of longevity for a football manager?
I think so, because you have so much money now in football that everybody wants to win quickly and no patience, and everybody wants to change things as soon as you have a couple of bad results. We have the experience of this year. A lot of teams, Bournemouth, Huddersfield, ourselves, we had bad runs, and everybody was talking about, oh, you have to change the manager. And then when they were changing the managers on teams, fantastic, because the new manager is doing this, is doing that. But the reality is that you need to be patient, you have to have an idea, a plan, follow the plan, and sometimes you will win, sometimes you will lose, but if you stick with the plan, you have more chances to do well, and it's what he did for 22 years.
How do you describe your relationship with Arsene?
Good, really good. So, I said before, I was a foreign manager, fighting for winning titles, and when I came was exactly the same. So, I have had some conversation with him about that, and I have a good relationship with him.
Did he talk to you about his decision or what he was going to do last weekend?
No, obviously before the game we were talking a little bit, and after the game I think he was not in the mood to talk too much about anything.
Yeah, I was going to say that you put the final nail in his coffin with that win, it appears last week.
That is football, and then these things happen, but still we are talking about one of the best managers in football history.
Now, already a lot of names being linked with the job. Yours has in the past, it's re-emerged again. You're obviously here at Newcastle, you have a year left in your contract. How does that make you feel when you see your name linked with the Arsenal job?
Yeah, I said before that this is a massive club, but my position now is the same. We have games to play. I want to be sure that we concentrate on that, and that's it. So what I want is to be sure that we have a good team to play against Everton on Monday, and that's it. So it's not the time for me to talk about that.
You said earlier in the week that you're relaxed on your future. Now that you're safe, do you plan to sit down with the owner and talk about that?
Yeah, I think that the situation is very clear. When I decided to come here, I could see the potential of this massive club, and I could see the passion of the fans. After 2 successful years here, I can feel this passion. I can feel the ambition. I know the ambitions of the fans, and my position now is to know which are the ideas of the club if we share the same ambitions. That's it.
So do you hope to have those talks before the end of the season, or are you happy to wait until the season is finished?
No, I would like to do it as soon as possible, but obviously I want to concentrate on the games at the same time.
We've seen everything you've spoken about there about the club. We've seen it in abundance the last couple of weeks. We've seen so much with the wins, 4 wins in a draw, everyone pulling in the same direction. Is what you thought originally proved true?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's, what I said before is just that I could see the passion of the fans, and I can feel the passion now. everybody has been trying to do their best to help the team, to help these young players to perform at the level that they are performing already. So I'm really pleased with everything, things has going on, and hopefully we can get more points and stay higher in the table. But the main target was to stay in the Premier League. We did it, and we did it brilliantly. And then we have to just try to do our best until the end. And again, I would say, see what we want to do in the future.
Yeah, the way the team has played, the way everyone is pulling in the one direction in the last few months, has it given you a hunger for more of that?
Yeah, always I talk about winning mentality. So when you have winning mentality, and we have so that, you try to win every game. You try to go there and get 3 points in every game. I said that against the majority of the teams, and then some people said, nah, maybe 1 point is enough. But Leicester was the last example. So we wanted to win, and I told the players, listen, we know that this is a difficult game because they have very good players and they are doing well. But if we do the things in the same way, we can beat anyone. So it's just you have to have your day. Maybe if it's a top side, they will have their days. But when you want to win, you have to have this mentality. Winning mentality means to approach the game, every game, with the idea of to get 3 points.
Finally, from me, now that you are safe, in terms of transfers for next season, does it give you a little bit of a head start? Can you sit down and you know where you're going to be next season? You know, be playing in the Premier League. Can you start looking into that early?
Yeah, obviously, in terms of the club, it's very clear that we have to start talking about ideas for the future. When I say ideas, I talk about players, but it's very difficult to know because the first thing is you need to know how much money is available, and then what can you do with that. The prices in the Premier League now, we're competing this year without big resources, so hopefully it will be different, and then you can start thinking about big. But again, I would say it depends on the ambitions of the club. Yes.
Rafa, speaking about the ambitions of the club, obviously your concern being that your ambitions and the club's ambitions match up. Do you need specific assurances when you have those conversations from the board that will set your mind at ease about that, as it were?
I think that at this time, what I said is what I have to say. So it's just be sure that we are in the same page. But I don't want to waste too much time talking about that because it has no sense. The main thing now is for me just to concentrate on games. They know my idea. We know what every single fan is expecting. So we have to match these ambitions if we want to compete. And was my idea when I came here, to be at least in the top 10 and then try to compete to win the League Cup, the FA Cup, the Europa League or the Champions League, but to have the possibility to compete and then try to win games, and if you can win games, you can win trophies.
So looking ahead, focusing on the games to Everton, then what sort of game are you expecting from them on Monday night?
As always in the Premier League, tough game, difficult because it's a good team, and then even if people say, oh, they are not doing so well, but still they have some good players, and in front of their fans, they will give everything.
Do you feel the focus is still there from the squad, obviously, having reached that 40-point target now? They still have the momentum, the desire to push on. There won't be any complacency?
Yeah, I think so. Today we had a training session that you were watching a little bit and was quite intense, and then they were complaining about the referee, so that means that they are competing and they try to win, so I was quite positive.
And you could go above Everton with a win as well. That gives a little bit of extra impetus to the game, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think it's important in football to stay calm and no complacency, so go there with a lot of respect, and then be sure that it will be a tough game, but we'll try to win, to get 3 points against a good team again.
And just finally, from me, the manager you'll be facing on Monday night, Sam Allardyce, has expressed some frustration this week about this survey that Everton have sent out asking fans to rate his performance. As a fellow manager, what was your opinion on that situation?
I was wrong, he's right.
So you have sympathy for him in that?
Yeah, in this case, 100% no. In another situation, but in this one, yes.
Thank you.
Rafa, I know you want to concentrate on the next game, which is perfectly, understandable. But you care a lot about the fans care a lot about you. What would you say to those fans who are already worrying that you might be off to Arsenal next season?
Yes, they have to enjoy the moment. If we can beat Everton, and we will try to do it, and that's it. So I have one left year in my contract, and then I will try to do my best until the last day.
Arsene Wenger change the way English football has progressed?
I think he changed a lot of things. So I have some people telling me, ex-players, former players, Arsenal, former players telling me about he changed this, he changed the nutrition and the way that they were training and the style of football. So a lot of things that, if you trust me, when I came here 2004, I was a little bit surprised coming from Spain. So I imagined him that he was coming earlier and tried to deal with all these things, and still you have to prove everyone that you are right when you are in a country that you love football and you have passion for football and you have your own ideas. So to change these things, my experience was zonal marking, corners or rotations, or all these things that was very difficult to explain. And then what the key for our success, I imagine him some years before trying to explain everything.
I heard a story today about when he first arrived, the kit man used to put a can of beer out for all the players after the game, and they'd have the beer as soon as they finished, and he was absolutely appalled by that, changed that straight away. It's come a long way, hasn't it?
Yeah, they told me also about some sweeties or things like that. And to change these habits, especially in a team that normally we're doing well, is quite complicated, because my experience with Liverpool is the same. So Liverpool was a massive club, and then to change the way that they were doing things in the past is quite complicated, but you have to convince people and you have to try to explain the reason why, and you will be right if you win. If you cannot win, you will be wrong.
Just to focus on John Joe Shelby for a minute, how much do you think he has improved both on the field and also with his attitude this season?
I think he's doing really well in the last month, but still he has a room for improvement, because he has the potential, he has the quality. It's just to be consistent on and off the pitch in terms of his behaviour, and he will be a much better player.
England currently don't have anyone in the squad that can do what he does in terms of his passing ability. Do you think he should be considered for England?
I don't want to put the manager under pressure, but I said before, he's doing really well. So you know your squad, and if you have different kind of players, you can approach games in a different way, and sometimes it's very helpful. So I think it's for me, as his manager, yes, he could be there, but it's not just my decision. But I think he's doing well, and hopefully he can do well until the end, and then maybe he will be there.
But if Gareth Southgate, for instance, is thinking about it's being a bit of a gamble because of the way he has been in the past, with some of the problems he's had with discipline and everything, would you be able to sort of reassure him that he has changed enough to not be too much of a risk? If
they need to talk with me, they can do it, and I will give them my opinion. I think that they know John Joe really well, but as you say, he's more mature, and then he's improving. So if they need my opinion, I will give them my opinion. So, but it has to be positive.
Just finally for me, it's looking like, obviously nothing's decided yet, but all the three teams that came up from the Championship last season have a very good chance of staying in the Premier League. Are you surprised by that?
Yeah, maybe, because when you go down to the Championship to promote, it's quite difficult. Just the stats say that 33% of the teams that they were relegated, they promote the year after. So if you have three teams promoting, the possibility of the three of them at the same time has to be quite difficult. Then I would say 33% maybe they will stay up, but in this case the three of us, we can be there. Means that you are talking about teams with something that people sometimes misunderstand. When you are organised, some people think that you are defensive. So if you see Huddersfield, if you see Brighton and ourselves, we are organised, so we have better balance between attack and defence. And then that is the reason why maybe the three of them we can stay in the Premier League.
I suppose it proves also that it's not always all about the money.
Yeah, the money can make the difference. If you see the teams that are winning the titles in the last 20 years, 15 years, apart from Leicester, normally the teams that are spending a lot of money. So the top six are top six because they have a bigger wage bill and more income, and they spend more money on players. And it's a relationship, yes. It's always the same. It's always this relationship is right. No, because we are there. Huddersfield is there. Brighton is there. But if you don't do the right things, normally you will be suffering and you will be at the bottom of the table.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Can I just check any team news, any concerns for Monday?
Everything is fine. We have Atsu with the little problems, but we don't want to take any risks now also in the last game. So we want to be sure that every player, if they have little things, they will be fine and they will be ready for the next games or maybe for the next season. It depends on each one.
That's great.
Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. Cheers. Take care. Enjoy the weather.